Hello, everyone. It's Mark Schultz here today, and we have an exciting broadcast for you today, and it's NFTs in the aviation industry. As part of our Blockchain and Aviation series, today we're going to be focusing on NFTs, and as you can see on the screen, I have a guest with us today from airBaltic, and you are not going to want to miss this because we actually have word that we're going to have a sneak peek on their next release of NFTs. And if you've been watching the market, you know that NFTs are super popular right now within the aviation industry, and you are going to have an amazing time watching this. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my co-host with me today, and I have with me today Gabriel. Gabriel, how are you today?
How's it going? It's a beautiful day. I'm ready to talk about NFTs today.
Excellent, because I know that's a topic that you're excited about, so it's going to be really good. Hey, everybody, I wanted to let you know that we're doing this series about blockchain and aviation. It's an 8-week series. This is actually episode number 6. We're doing 3 a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 8 weeks, and you're going to want to join us. We have some really interesting guests coming up for next week, but today, let's focus on today. Today, you know, Gabe, NFTs are becoming really hot in the industry, and I know that you've done a lot of research on that, and you're seeing a lot of activity in that area out there today, aren't you?
Yeah, and you know, it's really cool because these NFTs, they're being used in more ways than we thought. You know, other than just JPEGs, right? Of just pictures of little little things. But we've got some really cool information. Just really quick, Air Europa. You know, they recently just had a NFT ticket that was released, and it sold for $1 million. So
that's incredible.
They've even got so they can be used as tickets as well as collectibles and used for reward programs. So
we are
I believe
definitely going to be talking about that today, and so that's going to be a really good conversation. Hey, listen, I know all of you want to meet our guest, and so we're going to go ahead and just bring him in from airBaltic. And let's just grab him and bring him in here. And we have Arturs. Arturs, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing great. But I also need to just say sorry for people because it could be some network issues, but there's sadly nothing we can do currently. But yeah, I'm doing great. It's Friday. It's evening outside. It's sunny, plus 30 degrees in Celsius. So we're kind of happy.
Good, good. Hey, where are you coming to from today? Where are you located?
Well, we're located in Latvia, probably a place that a lot of people haven't heard about because we're really tiny, but it's in Baltic states, so next to Russia, and we have Poland somewhere, but it's Eastern Europe, basically.
Yeah, really beautiful areas. I've been in a number of the surrounding countries. I've never been in Latvia. You know, I've been to some of the surrounding ones like Azerbaijan and some other places around there, around the Baltic Sea, but I'm so glad that you're able to join us today. You know, guys, I always am amazed and so excited that we can connect people around the world. And here we are halfway around the world and we're having a live broadcast together. And so really, thanks for joining us. Hey, Artur, I know people want to know who you are and what do you do. Can you just quickly tell people that for me, please?
Well, currently I work at airBaltic as a blockchain and NFT specialist. So basically we're creating Web3 products that we will be releasing because we see there's a different kind of vision behind the technology. But I've been in blockchain space since 2014, but full-time from 2017. Worked on different kind of products as advisor and in a few of the other teams. And the latest to mention is Hololoot AR, who got rewarded as best AR NFT in the world last year by Polygon. And yeah, I've been in the blockchain space. I'm a very big believer, and that's why I'm here and trying to create something in one of the Latvia's biggest companies, and also create some different kind of customer experience with this technology.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. You know, we have really been looking forward to you being here, and because I know people want to hear from, you know, experts, subject matter experts that are actively involved in doing this. And we're going to talk a bit about some of Artur's journey and how he got to doing what he's doing and what he's doing at airBaltic. But before we do that, let's just reach out to our audience and say, you all watching out there know that I like to know where you're watching from. And, you know, Gabe's in Seattle and Artur's in, Latvia, and I'm down here in Florida. And just give us a shout out and let us know where you're watching from. Just put it into the comment box and I'll recognize you down there. And also, it always helps us if you will share this broadcast We've seen a lot of activity out there. There's a lot of people that have been asking me, send me the link, let me know when it starts. And so I know there's a lot of you watching out there today. So just put a comment down in the box and let me know where you're watching from, and we will give you a little shout out. Here we have Jude John, who's joined us here. Thanks for joining. And we have Rena, who's actually I moved up and I clicked on the wrong one. We have Mark Dismuke. Mark Dismuke and I know each other. He actually he runs a company that rents out or that they provide ownership and in private jets. And it's pretty exciting, the kind of things that they're doing. And then we have Rena, who's a regular attender here, and she joined us. And let's see, we have Jude, who actually told me that he is in the UK. Thank you for joining. I have my friend Sander Demore. He's with a company. Let's see, I think he went to Honeywell. Sander, didn't you? He's in Dubai right now, and worked with him in the past at Etihad and some of those places. And let's see, we have Sanjay, which has joined us from Delhi, and we have Richard, who's joined us from the UK. Big fan of Arturs. Must be a friend of yours. Do you know this person?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. It's always nice when we have people that join that we know. Hey, listen, keep telling me where you're coming from, and I'll give you a little shout out here. But let's get into our conversation here today, if we could. Hey, listen, I know people are really interested in knowing more about your journey, and I'd like, if you could, is just share a little bit about your background and how you got into doing what you're doing. And people would just like to know a little bit about your experience. Could you start out by just helping us understand that a little bit better, Arturs?
Yeah, sure. So, well, since I was a kid, I was really into computers. It was either building them or being a gamer, pure just playing Counter-Strikes and other stuff that people might know. And I really like the technology itself. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of problems in it, and you can be all the time busy with your mind and just trying to create something completely different. So by being so into tech, of course, I didn't actually go to any schools or anything. So I don't have papers in diploma in technology of IT, but I was always learning myself. So through different kind of YouTube courses, or there's Udemy or different kind of platforms where you can get certificates. And it really, blockchain technology just was getting into my mind. And I started to go into deeper, how to understand smart contracts, how peer-to-peer system works, and how exchanges works, and a lot of that stuff. So, and then I just completely got into it. And now I'm doing it full time, happily, with Air Baltic.
Yeah. So I have a quick question is that, what do you think it was that attracted your attention to blockchain and then to NFTs? Was there a place and time where in your mind you said, I have to get involved in this? I mean, was there anything like that?
Well, it was actually in 2017 when I really started to get into that. But what's bringing me into it is that the technology opens so many options for people. So basically, you could be anywhere in the world as long as you have a device and an internet connected. So it brings you payment systems a lot better. And there's so many more options that you could be using. And what I love about it is this centralization. It just opens an option for not being controlled by someone or manipulated by someone. So yeah, it's more of the other side, let's say, of the fence, things that I like.
Yeah, technology has always been exciting to me, and blockchain has really got me interested. I have to admit, Gabe got me into things like NFTs and cryptocurrency and things like that. I was into, blockchain from a business platform kind of a standpoint. But hey, I want to jump over and have a little bit of a conversation about the industry, if we could. Gabriel, I know you do some research on the industry for our company, and not only just technical, but also business research. I was wondering if you could maybe tell us, some of your research and what you've seen in the industry, and maybe some of the companies that have started getting involved in NFTs and things like that. Just what have you seen out there?
Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, we've got one of the first ones we have that I just want to shout out there was Air Europa, and they were probably one of the first ones that sold a NFT ticket, right? And I believe that sold in Paris for actually $1 million. So it was that's kind of expensive, but it's ramping up in the aviation industry with these NFTs. So but there are a bunch of other industries that are working on this as well. I believe that Etihad just recently, actually, they released an NFT recently. Is that right?
Yeah, well, Etihad is releasing it currently even. So
Currently.
they went through a whitelist, and there's still people buying. So there's an option of buying one. And but yeah, they're going into the spaces, Qantas, and there's so many more of the airplane companies who's coming into Web3 and metaverses, how they chose their ways, you know.
Yeah, and I
Hey,
was
one of the
doing
things I
so.
like to do. Well, I was going to say real quick. One of the things I like to do to make sure that people understand the terminology that we use. Anytime someone brings up a new term that we haven't talked about before, I like to explain it. And Arturs, you just brought up that word whitelist. And unless you're involved in the crypto world or NFT world, people don't know what being whitelisted for something is. Could you just quickly explain that to people watching right now?
So in simple terms, it would be a registration before buying. So basically, you get a guaranteed spot that you'll be able to buy whatever service. And in this case, it would be an NFT. So because usually the demand and the supply is so in different numbers. So basically, the demand is a lot huger than we have the supply. And this is a way how to create people that could be guaranteed to having one if they succeed in fulfilling requirements for some of the things. It really depends on how and the product itself sets the requirements to achieve something like that.
Yeah, can you give an idea of how somebody might get whitelisted for, you know, a purchase? I mean, if I were going to go buy stock in a pre-IPO, you know, you can get on a waiting list, you know, sometimes to be able to buy the stock pre-IPO. Like, just give the viewers an example of how somebody might get onto a whitelist of an NFT launch.
So it really depends on a product, but what's the most popular ones in NFT spaces is, for example, you should be using a Discord, which is a social platform, and you should be active in there and reaching the ranks by being active. So basically, the more you post, the more you interact with the people, you could be getting to a stage where whitelist is guaranteed. So it really depends on the requirements themselves. For example, for us, for the planees that we'll be talking later, the requirements are you could be winning that in giveaway, or you need to do different kind of supportive stuff for us that we choose as rewarding guaranteed minting.
So maybe it could be part of a loyalty program or anything like that.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, good. Hey, listen, I want to recognize a few more people. We have so many people watching today. Thank you so much. I just really appreciate it. And I always like to recognize people. So we have Philippe here joining from Warsaw. Welcome. And we have Kieran, and Kieran's a regular, follower. He actually works for a company called Real Variable, where they have a supply chain blockchain solution. We've worked together in the past. And here we have a visitor from Bangalore. Thank you. Glad you're joining. I always have difficulty pronouncing international names, and so I apologize. So, and then we have Pierre-Jean Marcel from France. Welcome, Pierre-Jean. And here we have a visitor from Finland. Thanks for joining, from Finland. We have my friend Simon Barker with the Aerospace Tech Review. I wanted to just give them a shout out. They do conferences in the industry and support technology in the aviation industry, and I really appreciate all they do really to help us. And then we have somebody here who's joined us from Spain, and glad to have you with us. Sometimes the names don't come through, immediately, so sorry about that. Thanks for joining from Spain. Hey, listen, let's keep going. And I wanted to just make a quick comment a little bit more on the industry. And people don't want to hear about the industry. They want to hear about what Air Baltic really is doing. And so we're going to get into that more deeply. But, Gabe has given me some research that he's done that he basically pointed out that, Emirates and Etihad and Qantas and Singapore and, Air Baltic and, all these different companies are looking at how do we leverage the blockchain in order to be able to create a greater customer experience, and how to be able to create loyalty and all the different things that are involved. And so we're going to have a conversation with Artur here now about really what Air Baltic is doing, and really how you're creating a program which is leveraging the blockchain. And I'm going to let you really speak to that. And in order to do that, I am going to put up a slide which he prepared for me, which starts to address some of those things. So I'm just going to hand it over to you, Arturs, and just let you kind of tell us the thoughts and concepts behind this slide.
So firstly, This is one of the things why we have chosen to create Plainies NFT, and this shows us the loyalty program user statistics, basically, because there's different kind of generations, right? So there's people who love to collect stamps in McDonald's or flying with Air Baltic and getting some rewards. Then there's people who just flying and getting points. So because the people styles are changing, right? So there's the new generations who are into crypto and all into digital only. So for us, it's really great to have an extra layer on top of the existing loyalty program to provide different kind of services for people. So again, this is in a test environment that we want to be doing, and there's a lot of room for error still because the technology itself is not as great as it will be in the long term. But this actually shows us that we could be being given out a great service for different kind of generations, which currently is happening. Because to be honest, the people who's in older age, they really don't come into crypto spaces, right? So they already have established what they're doing in their lives. So it's really hard. And to come into these spaces, the adoption is just very, very hard. So that's what we're trying to create. That the options is for everyone, not only just statistic, usual loyalty program. And also this Plainies NFTs loyalty program, it gives a different kind of access for the people. So for example, if you're flying a lot currently, then actually you're using the loyalty program. So you're getting your awards and everything else. But with Plainies NFT, even if you're a person who flies 2 times a year, you'll still be able to get the rewards. So at the end of the day, if you're loyal and you're flying with us, you will be able to get some rewards. And that's the beauty of the loyalty, right? So is there actually some price for loyalty? Or that's the question. So we want to give a loyalty for everyone who flies with us. And that's a really great way how we could do that, because the more options we bring to the table, the more options for people to choose how they want to be getting the rewards.
I have a quick question in the middle of this is, let me just ask you this. Gabriel, as a younger person looking at, a loyalty program, what's your reaction to something like this?
Yeah. So the first thing I want to ask is how are these, the points going to be given out? Are we going to be, is that also going to be used through, let's say MetaMask in a wallet, or is that going to be a totally separate thing, or how is that going to work out?
So the points, there won't be tokens, right? So we could be creating a token, but the problem currently, what I see personally with the blockchain space is, let's create a token, right? I don't need a token, I'm going to create a token. Like that really doesn't work. And then what we're doing, we're using our Web2 server. So basically the systems that we have currently, so miles or points, depending on where you're located. So in some of the regions, they call them miles. For us, we call them points. And basically, we're using the same old system and providing that and connecting the same way with the wallet. So the person would be connecting their wallet with our club account and getting the points into the club account. So basically, that's where you could be choosing variety of benefits that you could be having, and then we reward you through there. Of course, the vision itself is that all of the loyalty program is tokenized, but there's a long road to that, and that's what we're working on. But with Plainies NFT, it's just the first simple step what we can make and get into the space, and then develop from there.
Right.
So how do you think that you can bridge the gap between longtime flyers, maybe people that know nothing about crypto, and guys like Gabriel who are crypto enthusiasts and understands NFTs? I mean, how do you attract both of those clients in this kind of an environment?
Well, it's hard, to be honest. It's very hard because, let's be honest, currently the headlines are running on the opposite side of blockchain, right? So we see in media more scams and all the bad stuff, but we don't see what's actually building behind the scenes. But that's a different kind of topic, right? But for us, what we're trying to do is create this Plainies NFT and at the same time enlighten our users that we have currently, so the customers that we have with the clubs itself, and also in the same time we're coming to spaces for the youngsters who are using the NFTs and understand how it works. And the one thing that is worth to point out is that there will be people who just will never join blockchain because they'll just there is people like that, right? Only just to be on the other side. But for us, we see that there is demand, what we see currently in NFT markets, right? And we see that we want to be a part of it, and it actually just offers you more benefits as a customer. And once people understand that with our help or from someone else, that's when we can actually bridge them on to Web3 environment.
As one part of your program, basically. Okay. Good. Hey, listen, I like to answer people's questions and comments as we go along. So I wanted to throw a question up there real quick. It's sort of a comment and a question. You know, it says, can you add rewards for those of us buying the cities and already have bought, you know, airBaltic NFTs? What's your reaction to that, you know, right now?
Well, there is already a reward for that. So basically anyone who is holding our first NFT collection, which is the city collection, is getting a free Plainies NFT once we start minting. So that's already a quite big reward. And of course, city collection won't be forgotten. There is things planned, but we just can't announce it at this stage. But yeah, that was our collector item, and it's great that people are having it. So thank you, John, for having one and supporting us.
Is this a business associate of yours here?
No, but he clearly knows what's happening because also this information is on our homepage. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. So thanks for answering that. I appreciate you, you know, helping out in the comments out there. So one city collection will get you one Plainie. You said that, and some of our viewers, you know, understand that already. So yeah, you know, I wanna point out that you know, I know you released some NFTs last week, and I actually had a little bit of a heads up. You know, I was told they were going to come out, and so I jumped online and I tried to be there when they were released. And sadly, there was only 8 new ones released in the city collection, and I wasn't able to secure one. And so I currently do not own an airBaltic NFT. I'm going to try to get one though, but I'm sure after this broadcast, the price will continue to increase, you know, because of the familiarity, you know, of it. So, but hey, let's go back to the chart if we could for a minute and continue our conversation about that. Arturs, there's a few other blocks on here. Can you continue to explain the different cornerstones of the program, please?
Yeah, so basically these are 4-in-1 concept, right? So they're the point loyalty, elite tire benefits, and stamp cards are the ones that we have currently. And then the Plainies NFT is the one that is coming on top of all of these 3. And what I need to mention is that, for example, point loyalty and elite tire benefits and stamp card is not a asset that you can transfer. So what that means? That means that Plainies NFT, because it's a non-fungible token, so NFT, you can sell that to someone else or transfer that to someone else. So basically, this is a loyalty program that you can later on trade it. An ideal way is for someone, for example, who's flying with a different kind of aviation company, right? You could be coming into airBaltic and buying the loyalty NFT, and then you would already have different kind of variety bonuses. Because the thing currently is, if I'm, for example, living in US and now I want to move to Europe, I'm losing all my loyalty because I just won't be using the service. So in this kind of way, we offer the people a chance to have the loyalty that they have in different kind of company to have with us, because they are the frequent flyers. And it's just given a different kind of concept that your asset is the things that you actually do. So we can see that in different kind of spaces. So basically play to earn is the same thing. So I'm not going to say that this is going to be fly to earn, probably won't, but it just gives different kind of asset values for the things that you currently have and you own.
You know, I recently, or a year and a half ago, I moved from the Seattle, Washington area in the U.S. For those of you watching, it's up in the northwest corner of the country, and I moved down to the southeast corner to Florida. And so I basically have different carriers that have preferred, you know, route structures now for me. And so it was a little bit difficult to continue on using the same carrier. At one point in time, I was flying Alaska Airlines and Emirates pretty heavily. Our guest on Wednesday was from Emirates, and I had a significant amount of loyalty to Emirates. I was flying on Emirates quite frequently. And you bring up a very interesting point, is it would have been nice if at that point in time that I could have had some asset that I could have maybe put up for sale and sold, because I just don't fly on Emirates as much anymore as what I do now that I'm down in a different region. So I like that idea of having an asset that you could actually sell or transfer, if your life situation changes.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the thing. This is what I think personally could come into the space a lot more, that people would be able to trade their loyalties. So, for example, like I'm coming to a different kind of place, and I know my friend really likes, I don't know, cinema, and I have a really great loyalty card, and I'm like, okay, we can trade it. I want your auto mechanics loyalty, right? So you could be trading that or selling that, and it just brings different kind of values for the things that we already currently have, but it's not used. So everyone probably has a wallet full of 5, 10, 15 different loyalty cards. So later on, it all could be in crypto wallet.
I agree. Hey, let me flip up one other comment that just came in, and I just wanted to get you to comment on this if you could. He says that airBaltic has a very cohesive brand that has nothing really inherently apart from its name. Everything is earned. An NFT is finally a way to support such a brand, even if you're a fan or someone that's living in Australia, for example. I don't know. What are your thoughts? How would you respond to someone that makes that kind of a statement?
Well, it's great to hear that kind of statement, first of all, and of course we have been innovative. We are trying our best to advance and stay up with the big companies, right, and with the trends. So for us, actually, this technology, blockchain itself, is a really great way how we could be leading the aviation space in some kind of way. And again, it's just really great. And as mentioned, you could probably having an NFT of a Planey or a city collection living in Australia, because the principle of that thing is that sooner or later people travel, right? And if you come to Europe, then you could be choosing airBaltic because you already have the rewards here. So there's different kind of ways how you could be looking at that. But what's really beautiful is that it opens different kind of opportunities for people.
Super interesting, because if you think about that, is that if I only travel in a region, certain part time, and let's just say I'm going to travel in the Baltic region, there's a lot of different options of carriers to choose. And if I held an NFT, I would fly on airBaltic because I wanted to experience their service because I was holding one of their NFTs. I mean, so you can create connection to people outside of your region, even though they're not, flying on you frequently.
Well, this is the beauty. This is the beauty that I didn't mention before, but you brought it up. The thing with these NFTs is also that it's very limited. So it would bring a different kind of customer relations with that person, right? Because that person would connect with their NFTs, and they would have different kind of variety bonuses that's coming with that. And it actually would be different kind of experience for it, to being on that board or going to places because you're a Planey holder, right? It's some kind of gatekeeping, but in the same way, it offers you different kind of things from our side. And also it brings you in a club, a special kind of club that you could be connected with your aviation geeks or people who just love to photograph planes, right? Or people who loves to share photographies of where they are while they travel, right? So there's so many things that actually brings the NFT, having an NFT. I'm not saying that people should be having hours, but it's just opening a lot more possibilities for people to connect through internet.
It's incredible. Hey, Gabriel, when you were younger, you used to collect baseball cards, right?
Yes.
They had
Similar thing.
They had no immediate intrinsic value other than it was fun to collect them and put them into a plastic holder and look at them. But Gabe, what happens to them over time, to some of them?
Let's go up in value. I wish I still had some of those,
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah.
This, we can see why we can be incentivized to hold these things too. If we're getting all these different loyalty points and different rewards, I don't see why we wouldn't hold them.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I'd like to go on to our fourth cornerstone, of your program right now, and that's really the Planey NFTs. And I know there's a lot of people out there waiting to get this sneak peek, of the Planey NFTs. But before we do that, could you give us a bit of a discussion about the Planey NFTs, and what's the concept? I'd like to maybe start with your airBaltic City collection and then go from there. Can we have a discussion about that? About the NFTs at airBaltic then?
Yeah. Well, the City collection itself. So basically, that was our first step to come into NFT space, right? And it's a testing environment that we have already created for almost 10 months. And currently we see that it's actually evolving, right? Because we have done certain things to provide some value and utility for the NFTs. But what's the main thing to point out here? That this is the way how we learn, right? We need to understand that we're a Web2 company, and our main journey is to fly people from A point to B, right? And Web3 is a coming thing for us, where we want to be, right? And the city collections themselves is a really great way how we could understand how the blockchain works, where we could be storing data if we want to, what we could be improving. So basically, it's a really research case for us to work further. And then once we understand that, hey, we could be creating a loyalty program out of this, and that's when the Plainies NFT idea came out.
Okay. And so before I ask Gabriel a question, I wanted to ask you, is that what we're looking at right now is some of the NFTs that have been released, and they're a city collection. And if I understand it correctly, then is that they're basically collectible, images that have been minted as NFTs that people can, go purchase, and they can hold them in their wallets, and basically, they become a collectible, just like a baseball card was, in days of old, right? That's correct?
Yeah, well, it's a collectible item, and it's really interesting with these. There's a little tiny story behind it. I'll be really quick, but what it is basically we have created a contest for our airplanes to be named in the name of these cities. So people had the voting rights to vote for their city. And for example, I'm from Riga, right? It's capital, and that's the next edition that's coming out, the last one for a city collection. But it really brings people who's living in different kind of cities a point where they could be known in the world. Of course, people still won't know where it is, but it gives some kind of connection to the airplanes themselves and to the NFTs themselves. And we have released 220, but from each of these city collections, we're keeping 2 of them, because there's a reason, which will be mentioned later out. But it's really, of course, a collector's item. It's really unique. There's only 220 pieces, plus the Riga is coming. And if we look at the supplies for different kind of NFTs that's currently in the market, that's no way near. So
that's pretty small. So they're collectibles. So Gabriel, I wanted to ask you a question. We're looking at a particular website here right now. This is a live website that I put up. What is this website here, Gabe?
Looks like we're looking at OpenSea, which is pretty much the largest NFT marketplace out there. So you're going to be able to buy and sell NFTs and publish them on this website. And I believe it is the largest marketplace out there. So also a great place to publish these.
Well, maybe a quick follow-up question then for Arturs is, why did you choose OpenSea as the platform then? And, why did you choose, I see they're on Ethereum here. Why did you choose Ethereum instead of Polygon as the minting blockchain, the layer 1?
Well, firstly, it was chosen already some time ago, but the idea behind is that Ethereum was a lot stable at that point, and it's still a lot more stable, and it's more used, right? So there's bigger security behind it. And also in OpenSea, not currently, but before that, there was a lot more volume coming through, right? And Polygon NFTs is only now coming into the spaces. Of course, there is some, but they are coming. And we're not even talking about Solana, which is a different thing. But Ethereum, for us, it's really great because we have already been using crypto payments, right, in 2014. So we already knew about Ethereum back in then. And it's really easy for us to deploy on Ethereum. And later on, who says that there couldn't be a bridge to another currency?
Yeah. Hey, just a quick comment. Gabe and I were talking about this yesterday as we were doing some movement of cryptocurrencies yesterday. And, for a while, about a year ago, the fees and, those of you watching, I like to try to explain things, but when you transfer something, you have to pay a fee. And in this case, it's called gas fees. All right. And just think of it as you got to put gas in your car in order to go from one place to another. And when you're going to buy or transfer an NFT, you have to pay a fee, and it's called a gas fee. All right. The fees on Ethereum were extremely high. As a matter of fact, if you had $100 in value of something that you wanted to move a year ago, one time I went on to try to move it to another wallet, and they wanted $500 in gas fees. And so it was going to cost me $500 to move something that was only of $100 in value. And so at that time, it wasn't working out. But there's been a lot of changes in the industry, and there's other layer 1 platforms which are cheaper. But I made a transfer a couple of days ago on Ethereum, and I think the fee was 38 cents. Okay. And so things are being worked out, and just if you maybe a year ago were trying to make some transfers on Ethereum and you say, I'm not going to do that anymore, it doesn't even work. Well, things are being worked out and situations change. And I moved about $500 in value for 38 cents at that particular time. So anyway, I'm just pointing that out, is that if people want to go and look at these NFTs, they can go to OpenSea and take a look at them. And I encourage you to go look at the OpenSea.io website and look at the Air Baltic NFTs. Now, for the big reveal, we want to next talk about the planies themselves. All right. So you started out with the city collection, and then you went to your entire program, and we know we've talked about all of that. And also you have the planies that are coming out. Tell us a little bit about the planies, and then if it's still okay, we're going to give people that sneak peek.
Okay, so Planies NFT is an NFT loyalty program, basically different kind of loyalty program coming in and giving you an opportunity to earn various rewards based on the planies that you hold. And it also provides you an option to just go out of the program if you don't want to be there. So because NFTs themselves are a tradable asset, so you could be trading that or selling that if you don't feel like you want to be a part of the loyalty program. So what we have created currently is that there would be 10,000 of these planies, and each of the 10,000 is completely unique. There's none with the same type of traits together. So basically, it's really unique artwork that is behind there. And it also brings various benefits for you as a holder. But for public, there would be only 7.5 thousand, and 2.5 thousand will be staying with us as a company, and our employees also would be used for giveaways, promotions, and etc.
So initially, how will someone be able to acquire one of these?
Well, they would be going through registering in a pre-mint, where we would be having our minting site. So basically, people would be buying it from there. The price of one planie would be $300 fixed price, would be converted in the point of sell in Ethereum. So currently, it's really hard to say how much in Ethereum that would be. And why $300 is because we have actually created a business case where if a person would be holding the Planies NFT, then they would be having 3 tickets in 3 years, and with an average ticket price of €100. So it really depends how people do choose to have the rewards, right? So there's going to be people who just having free luggages or having flights, or maybe just rewarding for points for different kind of reasons, right? So it's really hard how people will be using that, but we have a fixed price, and then because we're actually giving out a real usage at this the point of once it's going to be launched.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, well, listen, I know people have been waiting for 38 minutes to see these NFTs. I have to ask you one more time. Are you sure the company has given you permission to give the sneak peek of these NFTs?
Yeah, we actually are already releasing some in Twitter, but yeah, you can go ahead and release them.
All right. Okay. Well, here it is, everybody. We're going to bring this in now. And this is the sneak peek you've all been waiting for. It's the new up and coming planies. Tell us all about them, Arturs.
Well, so as you can see here, the planies are completely different. So they have different kind of traits. And by traits, I mean the looks, how they look. So for example, if we take the middle planies, right, you see a skeleton base and bird wings with different kind of eyes and mouth. So, and the different kind of background. So what we have created is that every single one of the planies would be unique. And some of the traits in there would be rare traits. So for example, there could be a trait, I can't mention the names at this stage, but there could be a trait that is only one. And it really shows the part of collectible, right? Because let's say if there's 100 planies with a travel map as a base, we can see on the left corner, then it really would depend on how many are the different traits. So we've created a different kind of system where people could be collectors only for living in US, for example, right? So there's really different kind of things that people could be exploring through these traits. And ideally, your planies would be your travel buddy later on. That's how we call them inside, and that's what we want people to have, because I believe so. If you're flying in a business class 60 times a year, you want a travel buddy, right? You're always flying, so you want someone there. Just a funny looking picture if we look at just the JPEGs, but it's still there.
So Gabriel, what's your reaction?
That's awesome, and that's really cool that that you guys are going with the different rarities here. And yeah, how many? I'm sorry, how many are there going to be?
So there's together 10,000 of these.
10,000. Wow, that's amazing. So
Are there 10,000 variations, or are there multiple mintings of the same ones?
So 10,000 variations. Your planey would be unique. No one else would have a planey like you have it. So there could be a different kind of background with your planey, or a different kind of wings. So there's always going to be something different with your planey than the other people have.
Yeah. So, Gabe, I know that at one point in time, you told me that issuing a large number like that, like 10,000 of them, was a common practice. You're seeing that other places in the industry, right?
Yeah, it is, and this is a prime example of what the biggest NFT collections are doing right here, and you guys are doing awesome. And this is very similar to how everybody else is doing it in the industry. So,
yeah. Well, just to add a little bit, just add on that one. We need to point out there's a lot of great products out there as PFPs. So, and it's really great to learn from them and understand what we could be doing. But then again, we need to focus more on the utility side than rather a picture. I believe some of the people would be here only for artwork, right? The collectors, or someone maybe just loves the planes. It doesn't want to be a loyalty program, but I just love a strawberry plane, right? Like, why not?
So listen, we've had a few questions that have come up. I wanted to just run these past you real quick. Some of them are pretty simple, but I want to ask you this: is it so here's a question here: is so all you do is buy the planies but no discount on the Air Baltic tickets? How does a planey maybe fit in on the price of a ticket, or just sort of explain if that has any impact on each other?
So there's different kind of benefits for the planies. So the first one is that you're having the planey and you're getting the points, right? So once you have the points, you can redeem them for different kind of usages. It could be a discount for luggages, or it could be even a free luggage, or a voucher, or a free ticket. But the system that if you hold the planey themselves, just the planey, whatever kind of planey, and you're getting discounted flights on every single time you do it, it's not in the place at this point. It maybe could be the thing that we would be looking at, but it really depends on the trade specific things. So as we have mentioned on our roadmap, so basically things that we will be releasing, there is special kind of drops for planies holders. And what is special kind of drops? So it could be anything. It could be planies merch. It could be free tickets. It could be really anything what we think about. But a discount for every single thing that you are buying through Air Baltic is not the thing at this point. But again, it's really where are we going with this product, right? We really need to understand what is the demand of the loyalty program users and where they want us to be there. Because the thing that people need to understand with NFTs, it is a community. It's not only us who is doing everything. It's the people who's in charge of the secondary market, the volumes and the prices and everything else. And for us, we're just building. We're building and trying to provide the best things that we can do. Yeah. So it really works from both of the sides. If before that it was the company who's doing everything, then currently we're going to that stage where we're giving a lot of power of the project itself in hands of the customers.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, I wanted to point out one more time is that, if you're familiar with NFTs, this is a simple concept for you, but I wanted to point out one more time that he's used the word, utility a couple of times. And in the world of NFTs, when someone says that an NFT has utility, it means that it has all those different functions associated with it. So it's not just a pretty picture that's a collectible or a baseball card. It actually has some value that will either be attached to it today or future value. And it's one of the reasons why NFTs are exciting is because of that. Hey, listen, I'm going to take a couple of questions if we could. I got a couple of predictions out here. One of your friends says that he thinks it's going to go up to $30,000. So this is not financial advice. Don't go out and buy Air Baltic, NFTs because you think they're going to go up to 30,000. We really have no idea where they're going to go, but wouldn't it be nice if we held a few $30,000, Air Baltic NFTs now, Arturs, wouldn't it?
Yeah. As you mentioned, it's not a financial advice, but it's really, it's really how the people play it, right? So we're releasing, we're giving the options, and then to be honest, like there's a lot of weird stuff happening into NFT world. So a lot of these non-utility projects out there are hitting a very different kind of numbers. So, but yeah, on the numbers themselves, we're not speculating. There's no thing for us to gain from there. So, but like we're out there trying to release them, and then whatever people do with them and how big of their engagement is, that's where the price is going to set.
Well, let me get to a couple other questions here quickly. There's one here that asks, after Riga, will you continue to issue more cities? What are your thoughts on that?
No, so actually Riga, our capital of Latvia, is the last city of the 14 cities that was mentioned to come out. And then, yeah, it's the last one, people. So there's going to be 98 of them for public to be sold. And we do believe, again, because seeing previous statistics, we do believe they're going to be bought out very quickly, but it really depends on if the people buy in that day. But yeah, it's coming out, and there won't be any more in the city collection. So it's going to stay with a very, very low supply and still qualify as a collector's item.
Okay, so I'm not sure I understand this question, but I'm going to throw it up. So you said it was AI in the video. I'm not really sure. Is there any AI or anything that goes behind the NFTs? Is there anything else that's attached to that in any way?
No, I think I don't even understand what AI, but maybe it's meant by the 10,000. So how do we create 10,000 different kind of NFTs? So it is run through code itself that generates them and makes sure that there's no copies coming in. But again, there's a lot of things from designer side that needed to be done so we can create it together. And then there's a lot of hours to go through these NFTs to see if they actually fit together. So yeah, it was a great journey for us. We have done it a few times, but now it's all sorted and the 10,000 are ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. Hey, listen, let's see. It looks like we might have one other question here. I'm going to take one more question before we wrap a few things up here today. But let's see. The question is, I noticed that there are one or two that are reserved for airBaltic. What are you reserving these for? Or just tell us what the concept is behind reserving them.
So, well, firstly, as we are the creators, and we are reserving one for ourselves because we have created, and we also want to be a part of it. The same with Planie's NFT. Once we're going to be launching them, we will reserve mint a huge amount of them comparing to other holders, because we're running the product, right? There's no intention for us to sell it, but we're showing that we're also interested in the product. We see what we can do. And in the end of the day, there's a lot of IP rights coming behind these Planie's NFTs. So you could be commercializing that in a way how you want it. And this is also the beauty that we want to create later on, to create it as a brand and an IP and have something out of this different kind that gives us extra benefits for flying the passengers. But yeah, the two of them, the city collections, we're holding one for us, and the other one is going to be going out to the cities themselves.
Awesome. Good. You tie the city in as well. Very good. Hey, listen, I have a couple of questions here, and I wanted to start with Gabe and say, Gabe, what's your overall reaction to the collection? As a young person, what do you think about a collection like this? Just give me your honest opinion. What do you think about it?
I think it's great, because most of the trading that's going on with NFTs is purely on the price, and people are trying to, they're trying to make a quick buck. And that's how a lot of the trading happens on NFT marketplaces. And I can see, if any of these have any sort of NFTs, if they have some sort of utility attached to them, I can see why even more people would want them. So any sort of NFT that actually has a real world application and utility is going to be, worth far more than just the NFT collections that are just being traded for, for value. So
yeah, fantastic. That's good. That's good.
I think it's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Gabe. I really appreciate that. Arturs, let me ask you a final question here as we sort of wrap things up, is that, you've been involved in the NFT world, and you get to be part of this creative part of the world as well, and the technical part and the new technologies. What is most exciting to you right now about this time in the industry, in aviation industry, where we're applying this kind of technology?
Well, I really like the innovation itself. And with this kind of technology, we're really at the point where we really don't understand where are we going with it. Because every day you have so many different kind of possibilities coming into the space. And what we understand is that we could improve our systems, the customer service and journey with us in overall, and we can just evolve as a company behind it. And it's really beautiful that you could be working on something completely unreal for things that you actually saw in movies, right? So that is the thing that I really like. I love to be building, and NFTs and blockchain is the thing that I really like. So building a project, especially in my home country, by being abroad for biggest majority of my adult life. So coming back here and being a part of my nationality company is just unreal.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. You know, we're all really excited about these things that are happening in the industry today, and so it's really great. I share your thoughts. Hey, is there a release date for these plainies yet, or is it still undisclosed?
Well, it's still undisclosed because we want to actually give the people a chance to be earning on a day one, and there's still things that we need to create from IT perspective, and also, of course, we're a big corporation, right? So we're running through different kind of audits to make sure that everything is spot on, and there shouldn't be no hassles once we launch it out. But then again, okay, it's an NFT world. There's a lot of weird things happening, but we should be fine. And of course, the market situation. We also are looking at the market, what's happening currently. So, but we are coming closer every day to releasing. We actually have started a little bit of promotion, and then we're coming out to the spaces as we are today on a show. So people are starting to see what's plainies and is that even real? We can be flying with NFT tickets later on, like is it real? What? So, but we're coming there, and but the date is not set, but it would be announced in our socials.
So, what's the best social platform to be able to reach out and stay in tune with the news of what's happening with the plainies?
I would say it's Twitter at this point. You could be following us on Twitter. Either AirBaltic or plainies NFT. Plainies NFT would be a lot better because that's our dedicated one. And also, if you're really into it and you want to find out various different things and really chat with the people who's going to be in the community and who's in the community at this point, we would suggest you to join our Discord server, because you could be posting pictures of your traveling, connect with the people who actually likes plainies, NFTs, and network with the people and find out the different kind of stuff from there. And also chat with us, the plainies team, who's there every day answering and then just helping the people out. And yeah, it would be announced there. And if you follow us, you'll see everything.
Great, good. Hey, listen, I like to make certain that we explain things when, terminologies come up. And those of you who are not following, NFTs as closely or crypto as closely, you may not know what a Discord server is, but I just want to quickly just say that a Discord server is another, social media platform where groups of people with common interests join and they collaborate and share information and comments and knowledge. And listen, if somebody wants to follow on Twitter, you said it's plainies NFT, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Plainies NFT at Twitter.
Twitter.com, plainies NFT. All right. And if somebody wants to join the Discord server, how do they join the Discord server?
So you'll see an invite link in our Twitter. If you check out the Twitter, there's going to be an invite link. But also you could be just typing in your browser discord.com plainies NFT. So it's the same invite link, but
okay, all right. So what I promise you all that I'll do is I'll post a link in the comments to the Twitter and to the Discord server, and we would very much welcome you to join that and follow along, because it's an exciting journey and we're seeing a lot of fun things that are happening. And certainly if you're interested in the technology, you're not going to want to miss this, but who knows? You never know where those NFTs are going to go, and I'm hoping to get my hands on one here pretty soon. Hey, listen, Arturs, I really, really appreciate you joining us today. Gabriel, I appreciate you being here as our co-host today. Your knowledge and insight on the industry, Arturs, has just been really fantastic. Thank you for joining us today. It was really great to see that.
Yeah, thank you guys, and absolutely enjoyed it, and really nice to see a lot of comments coming into from the viewers themselves, and yeah, hopefully we can connect later on and and have a different kind of episode once the planies are out. That would be really cool. Okay.
I would like to do that. I will commit to you that we'll do that. So when they come out, let's have a launch party or something like that. I've done that with my daughter who has launched, she works at DreamWorks Animation. And after they've launched games or things like that, that we've had a launch party. So maybe we could have a little party afterwards, a little launch party or something like that,
True
yeah.
that. True.
All right. Okay, good. Very good. Well, listen, thanks everybody for joining today. I really appreciate you being here. We have some really exciting guests next week as well. And on Monday, we have our Innovation Monday, where we have a company. We're going to be talking about blockchain innovation and ideas. And then on Wednesday, we actually have, like I said, the co-founder and CEO of TravelX, who was part of the launch of the NFT for Air Europa, which Gabe said at the top of the program generated $1 million, for that one ticket. And I'm hoping that we can better understand why something like that would happen, because every one of us wants to generate $1 million NFT, right? So anyway, we're looking forward to that. And on Friday, we actually have a guest who's going to be joining us, who's involved in air traffic management and blockchain. I have to give a caveat, though. I don't have 100% confirmation on that one yet. But next week, we have some exciting guests, just like we did this week. And Arturs, I wish you the best at Air Baltic and with your journey in NFTs and blockchain. And you guys have really set the bar high for what you're doing in the industry. And I really appreciate how you've captured that, in the industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And let's go planies.
Yeah, there you go. Planies. All right. Hey, as I tell everybody, fair winds and following seas. And I really appreciate you being here today. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now. We'll see you on our next broadcast on Monday.